let's just have what I call a holiday together, which is recognizing who you are essentially, free, very simple, and very relaxed. So it can be just be attentive, be here together, but be relaxed at the same time. We've all done a lot of spiritual practices and sadhanas. A lot of people have done a lot of meditation and all kinds of other things, using a lot of effort and force, trying to get somewhere. But instead of trying to get somewhere, we're gonna be where we are already, where we've always been. So just for a moment, don't attend to anything in particular, any object, thoughts or sounds or sensations or emotions. All of those are fine. But for a moment, just don't attend to any of those. Instead, simply attend to this purely subjective fact: I am here. If thoughts come in or attention goes to something, no problem. But then again, just simply openly knowing here. I am here. Very simple and ordinary. Purely being. And we notice when we're not attending to anything in particular, we are far less contracted, aren't we? Our experience is far less contracted. Our sensory experience and our experience of ourselves even is far less contracted. When we're focused on a situation or a problem or a thought, and it's all fine, but notice when that's happening, that's your experiences are very contracted and limited. But now I want us to see something essential about who we are, and that is not contracted at all, what I call blown wide open. Blown wide open here and now. Simply knowing that I am. And this knowing that I am doesn't have a name or a form or a story or a history or beliefs or political affiliations or country or sex or anything. It simply is knowing being. Perhaps you can even sense the silence of this experience, this knowing being, like now. Even if there are sounds, no problem. Silence. You can see here being this, you can see also this knowing being that has no name and no form and no history, simply being, has been who you are your entire life. If at any time in your life you had sat with me and I shared this with you, you would notice exactly the same thing, no matter what age. You would notice pure being knowing that has no name, no form, no history, no story, no political affiliation, no gender. So if you notice that this, what we're seeing now, has been here your whole life, even if when you were 10, if you sat with me and you were able to recognize, and I shared this, you would see again, simply blown wide open, pure being, the same as it is now. In here, you're already free, aren't you? You're free of all the stories of your life. You're free of all your regrets and your guilts and your remorses and your blames and your acrimonies and your judgments, your poor me's and your great me's, your sentimental me. You're free of all of this. You simply are. And you notice the peace in that. This peace is already attained. It's already and always been here. Call it peace or silence or simply you. If you know this place, if you know yourself in this way, you'll see that the normal way we know ourselves, the very personal, contracted way, is very divisive. It separates us from everyone else in the world. And it's in that focus on self, opinions and beliefs and judgments and blames is the cause of all the division we see in the world, isn't it? But here we come together, all the same, pure being, knowing, no name, no form, no history. And it's true for all of us. So this is where we unite, actually. This is the true uniting. We don't unite in politics and in social issues and in religious issues. We don't unite there. Those divide. We unite in truth, the truth of our own being, which is true for everyone. The true answer, the most important answer to all philosophical questions, all spiritual questions, is when the questions are answered by the recognition of freedom, and in that moment that question is gone. And that question is ego. Only ego can have a question, you see. And I don't demonize ego. There's nothing wrong. There's the appearance of ego. Look from the outside, it looks like there's ego appearing here, whatever. I don't see it in myself this way, but it appears. So I don't have any issue with ego or demonize it or denigrate it or find it a problem that needs to be gotten over. But it's just scientifically. The only thing that can have a doubt which would elicit a question is ego, of course. So the answer to that question of any spiritual or philosophical question is not an answer to the question. It's the recognition of the egoless condition of freedom, which is who you are, in which moment that question, i.e. ego, vanishes. And that's the answer. Like now, this very moment. So that's why I say, when you're no thing, it's very hard to come up with a question. But also, if there are pressing questions, they should be brought up to be dismissed. But the way they'll be dismissed is, again, the recognition. There's nothing to understand about who you are. In this moment, here and now, alone, wide open knowing, is there something that needs to be understood? Silly, no? I simply am. What's to understand? What's to figure out? What spiritual book is going to show me this? See? So I say the answer to all questions is you. You are the answer to all questions. And I don't mean how do you make your computer work, but I mean philosophical, spiritual questions, life questions like this. That's what we recognize. That's how huge this simple recognition is, you see. This simple recognition is the end of your spiritual path permanently, forever. Now, in this moment. If you want that. If you go right back into the next book and the next video, that's fine. But you just know one thing. You're going in the wrong direction. You're leaving home and taking a trip. No problem. Take a trip if you like. But you don't need a book to be who you are. Another video, another philosophy, another meditation practice, another sadhana. You already are that. So anything you do is in the wrong direction. Anything. And I think you all recognize that now. Simply be who you are. The way to be free, I always say this, The way to be free is to be free. Now. Pretty complicated. Can you be so simple as this? That's the question. Can you be this simple? Ego is complicated. You, your essential being, who you are, is beyond simplicity. The word simple is too complicated. Can you be this? I say that's what freedom is. That's what I say. That's what freedom is. Okay, Anne. Where are you, Anne? Hi, Anne.
Yeah, I sort of hate to interrupt that. The piece,
No worries.
this came with what you were saying, and you said again something that I was going to say, and that is that the answer to every question is me. And you said that to me a couple of weeks ago, and I've been working with that. The other thing you said, uh, I heard you say to someone else, I think it was someone else, is life has no meaning. And
Life has no meaning? Yeah.
yeah, and that's there. No, it's the opposite for me. It's like,
But
oh my God, okay, awesome, dealing with that. But that's all I want to say. The answer to every question is me. Every one of my questions is me, and life has no meaning, which is helpful.
yeah, it's a relief, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's all.
Okay, thanks, Anne. Meaning, who needs, what aspect of you needs to have meaning? The you, your essential being, life itself, the you, life itself, the need to have meaning? Of course not. You are. Again, ego needs meaning because it feels disconnected. It feels lacking something, incomplete and unwhole. And it feels that it's lost its home. When you are only ego, you feel you've lost your home. That's why people seek. That's why they seek in the world for acclaim and fame and connection and love and relationship and money and success and fame and all that stuff. And then they realize it doesn't work. Then we get on the spiritual path and we seek enlightenment and freedom and liberation. What's the problem is ego is doing all of that because the ego feels it's lost something or it's missing something or it's disconnected, you know. And so then it wants some meaning. What's the meaning? What's my meaning? I need something. And so, then we get on the path and then when I was on the path, I felt I really had a purpose in life actually, I really did. It was and it had some value to feel that way at the time. It was now I have a meaning to my life. That's to find out liberation. But now I don't need any meaning. What do I need meaning for? I am. I need meaning to be? No, of course not. I am. I don't need a purpose either. Any purpose in life. I just do what I do. I do, seems like I do quite a lot sometimes. Not for any purpose, just because I do. So yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. Hi, Dogma.
Hi. So yeah, I'm at the point where I feel like all these highfalutin questions, about who am I, what's the meaning, it cannot be answered by the mind. There is no answer to it.
That's
It's
right.
just really falling back into the simplicity of this now. That's the only answer there is. It's like this, like you call it, the shift of knowing.
Yeah,
That's the only answer.
that's right.
And couple of years, no, not a while back, I went to this beautiful monastery in Oregon. It's called Mount Angel, and it's these beautiful grounds, and they have this library that was built by this very famous Finnish architect, just gorgeous, light and beautiful and wood, and it's stories, 3, 4, 5, full of books, books about this guy and this guy and this saint and this saying. It's like, look at all the words these people need,
Oh, it's
to
amazing.
describe a simple truth,
Yeah,
It's just they created their own
yeah.
world around
It's unbelievable.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, simple message by Jesus too.
Even
And there it is, man, filling beautiful halls with nothing but words.
yeah,
It says,
exactly.
blew me away.
Yeah, that's great. That's very
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it? That's why all those words take you in the wrong direction. It's like getting on the yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm. But then also the pride of it, look, the beautiful building we built to fill with the words made by people, and that's true for every religion. I mean, the Buddhists have their little strips that they go through and stuff. I'm not
No, it's
judging
fine.
it on it. It's just,
No, it's good.
it's not the truth, man.
No, it's not truth. It's mind, which is
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong. I don't denigrate mind, but if you want truth and freedom, then you find out something. I'm it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it can't be more simple than that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dogma. Hi, Robin.
About having holidays, sometimes it's almost so simple, it's really hard for me to, I think I start overanalyzing it and
Okay.
thinking I'm not doing it right. And I know that's just the mind, but, sometimes to just say, don't focus on any one thing. I'm constantly focusing on one thing. If it's not a thought, it's something I'm seeing, it's something I'm feeling.
Yes.
Do you have any feedback about that or suggestions?
Right now, do you know that you are right now?
Yes.
Now look.
Yes.
Now pick up your hand and look at your hand, and just focus on your hand for a minute. Just focus. So now while you're looking at your hand, at the same time, know that you are.
Okay.
Oh, you see, that's called meditation.
Yeah.
Because now you're knowing that you are, even though you're there. But see, if the first movement is just very exclusive, just me focusing on my hand. Now what it is I am aware of myself within which this hand is appearing. So that's a holiday, and it can be done in any situation. Like right now, as I'm speaking, what I know is that I am while I'm speaking. That's the main thing I know, actually. The main thing. The words I only hear when you hear them, really. So, so there's really not like a right or wrong way to do it. If you know that you are, then it's in a holiday.
Okay.
So often when people think they're not sure if they're doing it right is because they equate a holiday with some kind of, like, because I had a holiday last week and it was so blissful and peaceful.
Right.
So I was really doing it right then. But now I'm having a holiday, but it's not blissful and peaceful. So maybe I'm not doing it right. That's one example of when people think they're not doing it right. You know? But no, holiday just means I know that I am here and now. And no matter what's going on, drinking the tea, I know, it's not like Buddhist where you're focusing on the tea. No, that's the opposite direction. That Buddhist thing of mindfulness, focusing on everything you're doing and walking, it's like a fucking torture. Hello. I don't know how anybody lives like that. I say,
Right.
know that you are, and then you know everything else as well. But the root of it all is I am, that's the root of everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Was that
I-
helpful?
No, it is helpful. I think I feel mostly like I'm failing at having a holiday when I get really lost in thought, like when my mind's wandering.
Oh, you just froze a little bit. Is it me? No, it's you. Robin, you froze. Maybe you'll come back. I don't think it's me because I see everyone else moving. Hopefully she'll come back in a minute. Robin? Okay, Robin's not back yet. Okay. Being lost in thoughts, okay, no problem. No problem. And then as soon as you notice, then that means you're on a holiday. As soon as you notice. She's not back, so unfortunately she's not going to hear this. Maybe she'll come back. Nothing wrong with focused attention, even focusing on thoughts. I don't care. I do too. That's not the point. The point is, you're free. I know I'm free. I can do anything. It doesn't matter what I'm focused on. But to know you're free, be on holiday a lot so that you can be more and more confident in your freedom, until it's doubtless. And then that's it. You're free. And then carry on living. Hi, Burma.
Hi, and in light of what you're just saying now, in the midst of getting caught in the rat's maze of ego and all of that, I'm challenged to know that I'm free.
No, you're
It
not going to
seems-
know it in the midst. You won't know
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay, so that's what I thought once upon a time I heard you say that.
No, what you've heard me say is I never need to be on a holiday again, ever. I never need to, because I know once and for all I'm free.
Okay, so it isn't, so the statement, you can be free in the midst of,
No, you
This-
can know anything. You can know you are in the midst of an emotion. You can, but it doesn't mean you have to all the time, because many times you're going to be focused on thoughts and not knowing that you are.
right,
That's fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
okay,
But for the
all
purpose
right,
the purpose of developing doubtlessness of your freedom, then I say have a lot of holidays, even if there's an
Right.
emotional appearance in the midst of it, for a moment, in the midst
Yeah.
of an emotional appearance, maybe for a moment you'll know you are. And then you see some freedom in that as well,
right. It seems that for me at this point, I wake up in the middle of the night, I get caught in
Yeah.
all kinds of thoughts.
Sure.
They go on, and then suddenly, for what I can't explain why, I realize
Yeah.
that I'm free, and
Yeah.
I focus on my freedom.
Yeah.
And then everything is empty and nothing,
Yeah.
and there's no me.
Good.
And
Perfect.
and
That's exactly
and
right.
but it absolutely shocks me where my mind goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Of course, I'm an old person and I have a lot of baggage that plays out from everything. But sometimes I just think, what the hell was that about?
I understand.
Yeah, it's like
Anything can happen.
cleaning.
Anything can happen in my mind too, but it doesn't last
Yeah.
very long,
Right.
I'm free and it passes.
Yeah.
Hi, Sal. In case Robin can hear, that would be very helpful to hear more about getting caught in thought and
Okay, so then getting caught in thought, who cares? No problem. I'm not trying to get everybody to be on holiday 24 hours a day. A holiday reveals something that you're free, and then carry on. And so, but the thing is, if we get so-called lost in thoughts that are afflictive, you know what I mean, that are causing us to suffer, if it's like, you know, you're working something out with your computer or your job or something, but if it's like afflictive thinking, blame or anger or regret, you have to come to see, come to know your freedom. And then the more you know your freedom and the more you know you didn't create yourself, and then those kind of more afflictive thoughts, which anyone can have, can resolve very quickly, because you know something that there's no actual truth to that. That's a story. You know, so like, you know, if you never knew freedom, a holiday, and like most people don't, and some afflictive thinking comes up, and you think that you need to be in there to resolve it, you think that's the only alternative you know, is to stay in that train of thought forever until you can resolve it one way or another. And of course, it doesn't help. But once you know a new way, and you know freedom, and you know that story is just ego, then those stories lose power, and they don't stick around as long, just without you doing anything, you know. So that's why I say keep knowing yourself as free. Keep knowing more and more yourself as freedom. And also, during those thoughts, maybe a crack of light comes in the midst, and for a moment there's a holiday, and that's very valuable, you know. So, but the more you're on holiday, the more those cracks of light will happen in those moments of afflictive thinking or afflictive emoting or something like that. The more those cracks of knowing happen, and the more they happen, the more you see your freedom and your safety, and the more you realize that's just the ego going crazy. And you don't judge, it's just scientific, it's just ego going crazy, judging and blaming and regretting and whatever it's doing in there. And the more you see that you're free, the more you see the value of freedom, the more you see the lack of value in any of that kind of thinking. So that just naturally, there's no longer as much fuel for those stories to last longer. So you might find that anything can appear in your mind. And if I wake up sometimes, I'm building a house here in India, it's very challenging. I wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind, maybe, the problems with the house. And it can be powerful for a minute or two, you know, but it doesn't have the power to keep me in there long at all, you know, because I know something else about myself, and that's freedom. And I also know I want freedom, you know. Okay, I could lose that fucking house. I don't give a shit, because I'm free. That's the most important thing to me. And as long as I know that, what's the most valuable thing, which is, you know, a big part of the intensive, valuing truth. That's huge, as everyone that's been on the intensive knows, 2 full weeks. Once I know the value of freedom, then I can still have a challenging moment with something, but it doesn't have that much power anymore. Because good riddance, you know? Okay, I'm going to stay free. Thank you very much, you know? And same with any kind of afflictive emotion or thought. You see the value of freedom more and more. That's why I say to become a bhakta. Everyone that works with me knows that's a huge part, becoming a genuine, true bhakta. Not worshiping the guru or the god, worshiping your own true self, your own freedom, the true worship, the true surrender. The true surrender to God is surrendering ego as yourself. Peace, freedom. That's the true surrender and the true bhakti. And the more you do that, the less has the power of mind to bring you down, you know. And like I said, again, but anything can happen in the mind, you know, anything, the mind too, you know. We live a life, and our life is, if you're building a house in India or whatever, everyone has a complicated life. And what does mind do? It records the experiences and then plays them back, and tries to create a problem or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's not, there's no problem with that. That's totally fine. But when we don't know freedom, we don't know the value of freedom. When we don't know this, and the only thing we know is the mind, then my God, we're complete slaves to that mind. We're completely bound, and we're completely stuck in there trying to resolve it in there. And there ain't no resolution in there. The resolution is the end of mind. And the resolution again is you, freedom. That's the resolution. Was that helpful, Carrie?
It is. And it's, this has been just such a lovely reprieve because I've just,
Yeah.
It's just been absolutely relentless, dreaming, waking up, and it's exactly what you say, mind is trying to, almost like, because I regret selling the apartment and blah, 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 but it's almost like 24/7, and it's so painful and destructive. And that, what you're saying about devotion, it's exactly that.
Yes.
It's like, right, this is the only way I'm going to get through this now. This is.
So that's good. You came to an open meeting because you're not on what you were on the last intensive or 2 ago. I don't remember.
Last March, I think. Last year, early last year.
Last year. Okay. So that's right. It was a while ago. So then, you have to continue. After one intensive is not that much. Some people come on 3 or even 4 because one intensive is not a lot. The answer is given in one intensive, but you have to live freedom for much longer than that. You have to be devoted to truth. So the more you stay devoted to truth, the more this will become yourself. And then the less will have the power of those stories to take you on a ride for months or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
You see, so it's in that way, it's up to you. You're not the doer of anything. There's no, but it's still, it's in your hands in a way, even though you're not the creator of anything. But there's no magic going to happen or anything. That in your mind has to sprout the intention to be devoted to truth completely. Yeah. Once that intention sprouts to be devoted to truth completely, then that's what you'll start doing. And that's why we have Lions Den meetings, and these open meetings for people who haven't done intensives. People who have done intensives, we have Lions Den meetings every week. It's to keep reminding yourself, because it's not easy, man. It's the great matter, This is the great matter. This is no joke.
I tuned into the Lions Den last Monday, and
that was
what a relief.
The Lions community. That was the Lions Den is there.
The community, Monday. What a relief.
Oh, good.
Mind has been telling me it's too late at night for me. I get tired at night. So, it's really, really good.
That's wonderful. That's why we have that. Yeah. Just for anyone who doesn't know, if once you come to an intensive, then you're in the Lions Den, and I have meetings every Saturday, and we can meet together. But there's also a Lions community, which is, I don't go to those meetings. Those are just for people who have done the intensives, who meet together as friends, nothing to do with me at all, just to come together in freedom. So, and those are all free, of course. Everything after the intensive is free.
And it was so wonderful. Such lovely people.
Yeah.
Lovely energy, and just in the space,
That's great, Carrie. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I will.
Glad you came today. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'll be having maybe in September another intensive, if anyone wants to join that. And then hopefully next January, February, I'll be having 2 full months here in India. And that'll be I'll be speaking a lot about that later if it happens. Cool. Maybe we're good for today. It's nice to see everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Great. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you.